Okay, so in this lesson, Year 10, I'm going to answer one of the questions that came up from when we had our little Teams meeting lesson, which was how to get sections that fit together, so how to run from a verse into a chorus successfully, and possibly touch on how to develop from a verse as well, which is one of the questions. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to record in a really basic four chord pattern into GarageBand, and then add a little bit of singing as well, and then show you where we can go from there. So obviously I'm aware that I'm using a Mac and I've got my keyboard plugged in, but as you'll see, there's nothing to stop you from drawing this in the traditional way. So I've got my tempo set up here, and I'm just going to press record. I'm going to do it in the key of G major, a bit easier on my voice this morning, and also it's good just to not always work in C. And remember, there's plenty of help online if you can't remember which chords belong in which key. So here we go. I'll press record. Hopefully I'll get my clicks in. Here we go. Okay, so that's the chords for my verse. Now I planned this already. I happen to know that I want that to go around twice for my verse. So what I'm going to do is tidy it up just a teeny little bit in here, and then copy it. So obviously this is slightly different on the iPad, but I want to get inside those blobs, so I'll click on the little thing there, and you get to this screen here. Make it bigger so I can see what we're doing. And you can see I played kind of in time, but I can tidy that up, I can quantize it. 1, 2, do it to nearest quaver. There we go, snappy snap. Those are now perfectly in time. And of course, there's nothing to stop me if I wanted to, which I'll come back to later, going in and drawing in here and editing. So just check it, listen to it, and follow this at the same time. Yeah, so that sounds good. So we'll go ahead now and we'll loop that around twice. So copy and paste it, bit of Command C, move that to where you want it. So just there, Command V. There we go. That's round twice. Now you're going to have to excuse me while I just stick some headphones on, because I'm now going to record my singing. I don't want to get any feedback. So which way around? That way around. So now I'm going to add my audio track, which again is slightly different on the iPad, but it's the same idea. Turn my smarter speakers off so I don't get any unnecessary noise. Coming back now, this is going to sound a bit weird to you, so you're just going to hear me singing with no chords, because obviously I don't want to get feedback. So here I go, my pre-prepared lyrics I scribbled down. Let's give this a go, shall we? This is my verse. It really is. Oh, schoolboy error going on here, Mr. Condry. I'm using a condenser microphone and I forgot to turn phantom power on. That sounds more like it. And I'll put the little special vocal effect on just because I've got it. Oh yeah, one thing I should say actually, just do a quick level check. So just sing a little bit and check your waveforms aren't coming in absolutely massive. La 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 la. So they're too big. Turn that down, turn that down. There we go. That looks a bit better. And again, you can adjust that sort of thing quite easily on the iPad as well. Right, let's try recording that again without any boo-boos this time. Let's go. See, look, you can see I've written words on it. This is my verse. It's really not the worst. I'm using the 4 chords that I know. My melody gets 10 out of 10. I think I'll do it again. And that is the conclusion of my verse. There we go. A masterpiece, I'm sure you'll agree. And now, if I take my headphones off, and if I turn, whoopsie daisy, if I turn the monitors back up on here, you should be able to hear how that fits together.
This is my verse, it's really not the worst. I'm using the 4 chords that I know.
Genius.
My melody gets 10 out of 10. I think I'll do it again. And that is the conclusion of my verse.
So that is something that is completely and utterly acceptable. It's got 4 chords. I haven't done anything fancy with them at all, as you can see from the sort of GarageBand video side of it. But it works, and my melody fits, and I've done a bit of repetition. It's an 8-bar verse. It's very typical. Now, in answer to the question that I often get, and that came up in the Teams discussion we had, where do we go from there? Well, you can't just keep doing the same thing again, but also you can't change everything all at once. So if you're going to change your melody, which you definitely are for a chorus, you're not going to just completely and utterly throw all your chords out the window and start again. Now, because we're in the key of G major, and we're using mostly chords 1, 4, 5, and 6 in G major, there's nothing to stop us using that, but we can just change the way we play them. I was mainly playing crotchets, like this sort of thing. Oh, sorry, it's not making any sound. Like this. Yep, so thing number 1 is use most of the same chords, just change the pattern a bit. Now, I'm going to have a go at that now, and I want to show you a slightly funky pattern, but nothing life-changingly difficult. It's easy to sort of program in as well if you want. So here we go. Let's give this a go. So I'm just going to use the same 4 chords, put in a different pattern. Let's have a think. Here we go. I didn't like that B minor chord. I'll do that again. You see, we all make mistakes when we're doing it live. Let's try that again, shall we? Here we go. Now, let's have a little look at that pattern in here, shall we? And see what I've done. I will play it back to you as well, so you can see it on the screen. You can see the little piano bits pop up, so you can see what's going on. So, where am I? This section here, bar 9 over here. Now, what have I done? Well, I haven't quantized it yet. Let's just quantize it. That was semiquavers. So, da, 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 da. There we go. They're in time now. Now, I'll tell you there, my chords were G, this little bit here. That's a chord of G there. Then my next one was a chord of F sharp. That's not F sharp, what am I talking about? A chord of D, which I started there. Then a chord of E minor and a chord of C. Now, I play these in semiquavers, so 1 note for every quarter of a beat, basically. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. That's 1 beat. And all I've done in this, you can see, if you look at this piano thing over here, you'll see, instead of just playing the G major chord straight, I've put a G at the bottom, I've missed the B out, I've used a D, and I've used a G, and I've just rippled my hands around on that pattern. Just repeated it round and round, so it looks like play. It looks like this when it's playing. See it going around on the piano there. Do that again. And for this next chord of D, all I've done, okay, so there's a D there, and there's the F sharp there. But instead of the A being up here on this one, what I've done, I've just played the A as the lower version, so it's like a second inversion shape. And I've used the same idea on this E minor pattern. So there's the E, there's the G, so to go out to the B there, the B's down there, which means I can get a nice smooth transition into this root position C thing there. So still 4 chords. Let's have a listen to that. I've just recorded the right-handed as well. I haven't bothered putting in a bass part for that one yet. Again, we like it, so what do we do if we like something? Well, Command C, Command V, we'll get it pasted, so we've got a double length chorus. And then we can, I suppose, get on with recording some chorus words as well, and some singing. So once again, I'll turn those monitors down, and then you'll hear the strange experience of me just singing something. Now, easy tip for how to make the melody of a chorus sound different from a verse. Either shove in a high note, or shove in a long note, or shove in a long high note. Yeah, you get it all the time in pop, rock, you name it. That the big moment is a high note or a held note. If in doubt, just aim for the tonic note. You know, if you're working it out sort of more mathematically, and as opposed to singing it, if you're doing it on a piano, just work out what key you're in this case G, and try and stick a high G in if your first chord is of the chorus is G. So here I go, and I'm just going to do a really simple melody, and see if it fits. So here we go. Let's give it a crack. Put that on there. Turn the gain back up. Hope it works. Right. So let's cue myself in there. Let's look. It's the chorus of our song. It isn't very long. There you go. And now, having had the painful experience of watching me sing that without being able to hear the whole thing, this is how the whole thing now sounds.
This is my verse. It's really not the worst. I'm using the 4 chords that I know. My melody gets 10 out of 10. I think I'll do it again. And that is the conclusion of my verse. Chorus of our song. It isn't very long.
So there you go. Now this thing's missing there, clearly. Need to put a bass line in. That's for another video, by the way. Need to put a bass line in at some point. But just by knowing what key you're in and ever so slightly changing the way you play your chords, that will make the accompaniment sound different. Don't change everything at once. That's a huge help. And on the guitar, by the way, you can just change your strumming patterns. Change the rhythm with which you strum the chords. That's a real good trick. And also, get a high note in the melody in the chorus, or get a long held note in the chorus. Will make a big difference. So I hope that's been some help in how to use chords and different melodies in making sections fit together.